Welcome back, everybody, to a new episode here, a new offseason here with the Niners franchise, with this rebuild franchise. Right now, we are, of course, the head coach of the Niners. We are approaching the halfway point of our 10-year tenure with San Francisco, but we are coming off our second best season of our 4 years here so far. But the rundown so far has been 9-8 year one game out from the playoffs, just barely missed out. Then we went 1-16, then 3-14, and now 6-11. So since that first year and since the kind of reset for the roster, things have steadily improved year after year. And so now we're going to try and get us to around the 500 mark by making some moves here in this offseason. We finished last year with a 17th ranked offense, a really good rush defense, but the ground game wasn't very good behind Anthony Newsom, who was in his second season. But our young quarterback, Spencer Faulkner, played extremely well here in his second season, putting up a much better stat line across the board. He had just great numbers, way better than all his numbers last season. So really happy with what he did, what the offensive line did, at least pass protection wise. So just trying to get those last couple of pieces to fit in here to put us on track to potentially be a playoff caliber team, maybe like a fringe playoff hunt kind of a team next season. But this division is pretty good. We have three other great quarterbacks with Patrick Mahomes, Blair Murphy, and Cameron Butler, all of whom have had our number at least this past season, because we went, I think, 1-5 in our division, only winning one game against the Rams and losing all the rest. But we are 6-11, by far bottom of our division, but we are close. We are so close. So my thoughts right now on moves that I kind of want to make in this episode is probably potentially moving on from Hufanga, who is 32 years old now, pretty much the last piece of that really great dynasty of the Niners that never really won a whole lot of Super Bowls, but they still got there a couple of times. And also thinking about getting a new receiver in place of Kerry Brennan, who's now a free agent. So we still have Clay Henson, who I'm not opposed to letting him get playing time because he had a lot of good plays 2 years back when he was in his first season with us. But Victor Weeks is still here. We got Arias Wheatley coming off a awesome rookie season at over 1,000 yards and 14 touchdowns and won Rookie of the Year and got superstar development. So happy with that. Got to get a third tight end probably. In terms of the offensive line, I'm not sure what to really do about Cam Baker. He's coming off his worst year with us in his 2 seasons after only allowing 2 sacks the year prior, allowed 6 this year, which is, not terrible for a left guard, but I'm also not sure if he is part of the problem for the run game because the run game has not been very good. And he's got about 80 run block, 85 run block finesse, 81 lead block, good impact block, 82 toughness. Where's his strength? He's got 87 strength. So I'm just trying to figure out where is the hole on the offensive line that's causing the poor running. Looks like Ray Gilliard's about an 80 run blocker. So pretty similar to Baker. And then Carter's got 93 strength with 78 run block, 89 run block finesse. So I'm not sure he's the issue either. Maybe it's just the running back. That could be it. Run block 80, run block finesse 94. I mean, we have the personnel to be way better in the run game. So maybe you give a chance to Joe Stockton, who we knew or know now is a superstar development player. Should have checked that earlier because I knew that he wasn't gonna get much playing time behind Newsom and Chisholm, but superstar dev means that he might just be naturally better than these other two. I will at least play him over Chisholm, and I will try and find a trade partner for Chisholm too, because I think he deserves to find a starting spot elsewhere. But thinking about that, and then I'm going to keep around this defensive line for one more year, because maybe it was a fluke year where Chambers and Covington just kind of dropped off the map, but both guys had back-to-back decent years prior to this, so I need them to be better. Because Franklin stepped up this year, and then Chambers did not step up when it was the opposite case in a previous season. So With Allen and Franklin here on this defensive line, we still got Ahmad Money and Brandon Ward. This defensive line, this defense as a whole should be really good and set up for the future. Now, we also got to figure out left outside linebacker here. We got Sean Townsend out here, but he's not really good enough for us to be a starter on this defense because this defense is going to improve a lot, I think, in this offseason because I do want to hammer home the point that this secondary needs to be better because they were still really bad even though we acquired Micah Betts in the draft. We moved up Sean Spriggs on our depth charts. I'm going to keep the personnel around except for Hufanga probably and give McCann the starting job. Then we got to find out who's going to play at free safety and stuff too. So we have plenty of top 100 picks, 6 in the first, 101. So got to make do with those and do what we can. But that's the game plan right now. So we have $80 million in cap room. But first order of business is going to be seeing what would the offers even be for Hufanga on the trade markets. Let's just see. I think at this point, most teams probably have their offers in for the free agents. So some teams might not have enough cap room, but some do. There are 3 teams right now that are offering, so we might have to wait a week or so. Now, the Bears want to make another trade with us, or actually, have we traded with them before? Maybe not. They're offering a better tight end than George Ford, but I kind of like George Ford. I'm not sure that we need another tight end that is like a good overall, really. I'm not sure that would really greatly improve the team, but you would get a couple of draft picks. Now, the Giants are offering Kyle Duhan, who is a star dev left outside linebacker, which is a position of need. And the Saints are offering a 24-year-old normal receiver. So by far the best offer is this one from New York. Let's at least take a look. Duhan's not a scheme fit for our... No, he is a scheme fit, actually. So he's a run stopper. That's good. And he would be pretty much the Delvin Matthews replacement. So he had 7 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 1 deflection this past season, and only about 340 downs. So barely played a third of their snaps really on defense, and had a couple of plays. I mean, these were already, I think, more than Matthews, at least for the tackle for loss. So, I mean, I don't see why we wouldn't. I think maybe this is a trade where they're trying to make a run next season. They think that they have enough personnel to acquire a big player like Hufanga, and they can they ship off a young player that hasn't gotten much playing time to get a full-fledged starting veteran. I'm curious who is the Giants. Curious who they have at strong safety. They have Britton Cook, who's 24 years old, has been in the league for a couple years. I think there's probably not sold on him, so we will gladly take that one trade. Now, I think this is a good trade for both teams with a straight-up deal because maybe I'll throw in a pick to acquire from them because Duhan is only 23 years old. So I'll see what this gets us. What do they say? They'll take it. Okay, so we acquire an extra 4th-round pick this year. And we get a new linebacker, so don't got to worry about that in the draft. And now we cannot worry about re-signing Delvin Matthews either. We got Duhan instead. And he's also younger than Sean Townsend too, so excited about him. 86 speed rating, 91 acceleration, better strength than Townsend, 90 tackling, that's good. 78 hit power, decent block shed, power moves of 63, so not a pass rusher, but can at least help out in the run game, hopefully. And that's what I'll be looking for from him. So, first move has been made. That means we should at least consider safety in the draft. We'll also check the free agents for safeties as well. But there are some options. I saw 2 guys that I liked earlier when I was looking through on my own time. So this free safety, Alex Herrera, who's a first-round pick. Be tackling A to C man coverage, B to D zone with a zone archetype. So 50% might use one of our scouting things on him. But he's a great athlete, great speed, good strength, great jumping. So all those check out for me. I like him so far based on what I'm seeing. And then also Dwayne Sellers, who has really good across-the-board ratings. Zone archetype as well. A hit power, B tackle, and zone coverage. Potentially has good man coverage. With good speed, solid strength, great jumping. So, similar to Herrera. So, those 2 guys I'm definitely looking for in the draft. And only because they had good zone coverage. I don't know about the other guys in terms of their zone coverage yet. But yeah, I'm not going to be targeting McLean here in the open market. Even though he's a 91 overall, he's got 21 other offers out there. I would rather draft somebody like Wheatley, who can come in on a cheap contract and can develop for a couple of years. Hopefully has hidden depth chart. If he doesn't, that would suck. But that would be key for us. And I was not going to target quarterback either. So if we're going to sign somebody here, it's got to be somebody that we know is going to contribute immediately. And that can play a position of need, really, which offensive line I don't think is one of those. So we're already striking out like the top 15 options in terms of free agents. I don't want to go after an older veteran corner again. Ayuk's a free agent. Down to normal development, though. We have 80 million, no, 93 now in cap room, and nothing to spend it on, really. So that is interesting. What do we do here? Well, I might backtrack my statement about McLean, because I think out of all the players available, he's like the guy that we should be going for. Maybe you can still even draft a receiver if you want to get cute with it, but I'm not sure. I'm going to sign one of these. I'm for sure going to sign one of these tight ends here. Might go after D'Angelo McPhee, who's 25 years old. Why not? I'll give him what he wants. I don't care. We have so much cap room. I think we can afford to use it on some cheap players. Offensive line, could we use some depth there? Maybe. I think the tackles are all right, but we'll see about the offensive line later. The defensive line, I mean, if we have the money, why not bring in some more depth? It didn't really work last year, but I think with the amount of money that we have, you kind of have to spend some of this on at least, you know, a couple years of contracts that guys just have a chance to contribute. 25 years old, Devontae White, he wants $8 million. No, but this guy's got 85 power moves, so I'll go after him. He wants a bit more, but I mean, I will gladly pay backups a high amount of money if it means that they'll actually do something. He's got 2 offers for Delvin Matthews. Middle linebacker is also a need of ours that I'm looking towards the draft for. Thinking about trading out for that one guy, Leon Webb, I think it was. But in terms of other linebackers, I might sign one and then draft one, no matter who it is. Now, we did release Matt Norton, but it's not a bad option. There also is Larry Freeman. He wants not a lot of money. Good pass rush, good tackler, good pursuits. Zone coverage kind of sucks, but it's not terrible. It kind of is bad. It's Roquan Smith, Carlos Gardner. I mean, I'll at least offer Larry Freeman. I'll go for like a 2-year contract. And we can look towards the draft for the other guy and then have 4 linebackers on the roster. And then I'm not really sure I'm a fan of these linebackers, but you can only get one more negotiation out there. So I am going to offer McLean. I'm going to change my tune on him. And he wants $25 million. So that's how much we're going to offer. We're all for that much. He'll be 30 years old by the end of the contract. And we'll see what the offers are for these different players. Now, we have apparently the top offer right now in there, but other teams are in the running. Might offer more because you want to make this team better. Why not? We're the only team offering for the other 4, so I am going to increase the offer for McLean by a couple ticks for both. Where does this move us? Still behind the Rams and Texans. I'm willing to pay a lot. I will even pay him upwards of $30 million towards the end of the contract if that's what he really wants. And now we're towards the top. I think we should evaluate now and see what happens. Well, every player has evaluated, and we got 4 of them, but not the guy that had the highest rating. The Texans got him instead, so now we're going to have to draft one. I offered the highest contract out of all the offers. He just took a team that I guess he has more interest in. So he's gone. Trevor Lawrence signed with the Chargers. I'm not gonna undo any of these signings for the quarterbacks any longer. I'm just gonna let it play out. I can't fix them having 4 franchise quarterbacks available. Terrell goes to Pittsburgh. Aldridge signs with the Bengals, so there's his new home. Looks like Gary Clifton to the Panthers. Gordon Harrison heads to Tampa Bay, so goodbye. Young sir, he went down to Star Dev for this season, but those are all the signings this round. Yeah, so we signed Larry Freeman, we signed Darnell Wilcox, we signed Spencer Coleman, and we got our 3rd tight end, D'Angelo McPhee. Now, is there anybody else worth even targeting for us? I honestly don't really think so. Don't really think so. Maybe you sign Jeff Teague, but how much would you really improve your team? And those might be our only signings for now. We don't need defensive tackle. We got depth now on our defensive line again. We're just adding more to it. We already have enough corners on the roster. We're going to draft a receiver now. So I think we just move on. So what position do we even need? And do we keep Chisholm? I don't really know. I mean, I'm probably not, but still going to draft a receiver for sure. Tight end's good. We should probably sign a left tackle or draft one. We got plenty of defensive ends and stuff. Linebackers, I think we're all right there. Corner, we're good. Probably sign a safety and then draft one. Or draft 2 safeties and have some fun with it. Oh, we already have McCann we took last year. Let's sign 1 more safety. And then see what the offers would look like for Chisholm. Then maybe just draft another running back later in the draft. So free safety. Looking for someone that could just be some depth, because I'm going to start whoever we end up drafting. I'm going to start them at free safety. But I think, honestly, I will bring back Brian Warmack. He doesn't have any offers right now and never got much playing time for us. So I will offer him. I don't see why not. And we end up re-signing Brian Warmack to a 2-year contract. Welcome back. You got $66 million left in cap room still. Jalen Hurts is a Bear. My God. Justin Herbert is a Cleveland Brown. That's insane. Jeff Teague is going to join his new quarterback, Jalen Hurts, in Chicago. While Josh Allen is in Miami now. Cool. I think he was there last year. But some more signings for you to close out free agency. Looks like Delvin Matthews is in Los Angeles. He's a Charger. Now that Chicago is a quarterback on the roster, they could very well go Leon Webb first overall now. I would really like to get him. I would really like to trade up there, and I would be willing to offer plenty of picks to do so. We have like 61 players on the roster as of right now, even before preseason, so I would be willing to trade up a lot to get that middle linebacker. But we'll see. So our second pick is at pick 18. Our first one's at pick 5. So we'll see. Now, I still want to draft one of those receivers, and the first one is not going until pick 8. That's Derek Coleman. And the other guys aren't going until 12. That's Enrique Sheldon. And then there's another receiver going in the first round. There's Brian Duckworth going at pick 19. So we'll see what we have to end up doing here. Got trade offers for Christopher Parker. I'm at least interested in these. But these offers are all horrible. Okay. If we offer Chisholm to the league, what teams would want him? You got the Texans, Titans, Eagles, Raiders offering Michael Mayer. I just kind of want draft picks instead. To be honest, I will gladly trade the guy for like a 4th or a 5th. Seriously. The Ravens have running back as their 3rd need, but they are negative in cap room, so they can't even sign him. Is there anybody that has... Oh, the Texans. Okay, I'll just trade it to them for a pick. Yeah, this would make sense for them. So, they got the 3rd overall pick. Jesus. All right, let's see about their 4th round. What do they say? They take it. All right. Another 4th for us this year. Time for mock draft 5, and they still have Webb going 1st overall. And they have us taking a linebacker, which not going to be the case at all. But honestly, they would probably want a lot to trade up. If it ends up being too much, I will just take one of the other options. But Webb could really help out this defense, I think, if we can get him. So we're going to jump at the draft now and see what happens. Actually, we got private workouts first. So let's use these. We know about Webb, so we can use it on somebody else. Is it worth checking these other receivers? There's Calvin Jackson down here, who is a round 1 and 2 talent. Could still just draft him and not have to trade up, really, and just wait to the 2nd round draft. Is it smart to use it on these guys or on the safeties? Probably at least on the safeties. Use it on Herrera, and then we'll use it on Sellers, and I will use it on one of the receivers. Release a catch in traffic for Darnell Beasley. I liked him a lot. He's already on the board. Why not use it on him and see what his talent is? Got Herrera to 90% now. We figure out that he's got B hit power, C man coverage, B tackle, and C zone coverage as a zone archetype, but he is an aggressive ball hawk. Great speed, good strength, great jumping. A stamina. A awareness is pretty good. A to B catching also is solid. And the player is not bad, so things to work on, but could be another young piece to add. We got Sellers to 90 as well, and I think I like him better. He's got B zone coverage, B tackling. He's taller. Savvy defender with the ball in the air. Another good jumper, good speed. So not as fast necessarily than Herrera, but way better zone coverage. Man coverage, not really sure, but D play rec, A catching, A awareness, A to B stamina. You could go either way, but I think I like Sellers a slight bit more. And now for the receiver, it was Darnell Beasley. He's around 2 to 3 talents. So still not a bad option, but a guy that would just drop and would go 2nd or 3rd round. So I think I might end up waiting on a receiver. Might just take Calvin Jackson instead in the 2nd round, because he'll probably be there. He's got great speed, ran a 4.41 and a 4.38. Elite acceleration. He's also a deep threat, very similar to Aries Wheatley, but the ratings are all there, I think. Stamina and stiff arm are pretty low. Everything else, though, I mean, can definitely be worked on, and he's got a lot of good stuff there, so he's a solid option. There's Roman Teal. I mean, you can't really go wrong here with these receivers, honestly. Unless you go with the guy that you know is not a good talent. But there are options for sure. All right, we're going to start the draft. I will try and put together a trade package as soon as we start, but I don't know if it'll actually work out or not. Let's go back in, and let's just see. I'm going to not see what they would want. I'm just going to offer my own trade and see how close we get. They already have Tavares Dansby and Emmanuel Campbell, but I mean, this guy is a can't-miss prospect. Kind of like McCutcheon was, so this is why I think I want to get this guy, and because we obviously lost Hufanga, not Hufanga. We did lose him, but we lost Fred Warner is what I'm talking about. I would be willing to shed, obviously, the 18th overall pick. I would be willing to give up our top 3rd round pick, and I'd be willing to give up our top 4th round pick as well. Even another, just see what this gets us. I know that's not going to be enough, but how close? They would probably want a pretty good amount more. If you consider trading a player in this draft to get him, maybe a corner. We got plenty on the roster. Maybe somebody like Chris Staley or Christopher Parker. Let's think about Chris Staley. What would he add to this? Not really a whole lot. All right, what if I throw in our 3rd round pick next year as well? Does that get it done? Not quite. We're almost there. If we throw in the 3rd round pick next season, come on. Get her done. Nope. Yeah, I don't think that this trade is worth making. I think he's a great player, but I think there are other options that will be solid options for us that we don't have to give away all our picks for. I acquired these picks for a reason. It was to make this team younger and good. So we're going to use that 5th round pick on somebody else. We're going to sim the 1st pick. And they select Leon Webb out of Auburn. Yep. We'll stay on those same colors. The Ravens next up select Ronnie Florence. The Texans go Dante Lowry. Now the pick before us, it is the Buccaneers. They select... Ooh, it's lagging. Ronald Dickinson, the right tackle. Now we're on the clock. The quarterback, obviously not much of a need for us. You go receiver. Might be worth doing now that we couldn't make the trade. You get the guy that you want, that you know is a round 1 talent. You got Derek Coleman, who's a playmaker. Enrique Sheldon, who's a deep threat. Let's compare these two, because both guys are round 1 options. So playmaker, 6 foot tall, 21 years old. A catching, C deep route, C release, D catch in traffic. Avoids big hits following catches. Excels at creating yards after the catch. No issues climbing the ladder. Fights for every single inch as the runner. Good body control. Good discipline. Solid jumping, speed, and strength. Good direction, agility, and acceleration, but really not the fastest wide receiver at all. Skills, though, they're all there. The lowest is D, stamina, and D catch and traffic. Everything else is pretty damn solid as a starting place. So that is good. And then Sheldon is a deep threat, 5'11", so just 1 inch smaller or shorter and 1 year older. B deep route and release, B catch and traffic, C catching. He fights for every inch, also has good body control, no issue climbing the ladder. I mean, same exact player notes as everybody else. These receivers all have the same player notes across the board. This is so weird. But he's got elite speed. I think we might go Enrique Sheldon here because that... Imagine this guy with Wheatley. Whew, we would have a really fast receiving core and they would be gnarly. I think I'm going to go him. He's got C catching, but this guy can really play. Round 1 talent. Probably hidden dev. Take him. Go middle linebacker or safety with your next pick. And then you're home free after that. So, Enrique Sheldon, I'm going to bring you in. He's hitting development at 97 speed. I knew that he was quick. He's faster than Wheatley was. 94 acceleration too. Yeah, I can't wait to see what this guy's depth trade is. But I got to fix his sleeves. Those are way too long. But deep threat, another hidden dev receiver here in the 1st round. Back-to-back seasons. So... another piece for Spencer Faulkner. So now on the clock, it is the Denver Broncos. They select Joey Samuels. There goes Khalid Walton. There goes Derek Coleman. So we're going to see about him once this draft is over. Jeremiah Miles. Philip Bayer. Billy on the clock. They take a quarterback, TJ DeVoe, after losing Jalen Hurts to Chicago. The Bills go defensive tackle. There goes another left end, approaching our pick. Another end, which we don't really need right now. A lot of defensive players going here. We're 2 picks out. Quarterback Doug Peters taken by the Falcons. And the Packers take John Samuel. So now we're back on the clock. We can take one of those safeties or the middle linebackers, whichever one we think is going to go first. Barreras high up on the board. Not going to take him. I'd rather take the other guy instead. So probably not going to do that. But I don't even see the other guy down here for quite a while. Sellers is all the way down here. Now, are the linebackers supposed to go this round or not? I don't think they were. Round 2 to 3 projection, round 3 to 4 projection. I think we can just sit where we're at given where our picks are. And I'm going to take Sellers, who is around 1 and 2 projection, but I'm not going to pass up on him. Going to move this guy to free safety to play zone. So hopefully he's hitting. And he is! Let's go! Just below 90 speed too. 88 jumping out of Florida State. DBU. 23 years old. A catching, A awareness, A pursuit, A hit power. Player's got to be worked on, but I think he'll be an immediate contributor and he'll be a starter for sure. Time to wrap up this first round. The right tackle to the Patriots. First running back of the day is Mark Collins to the Giants. Dallas goes quarterback. Again, maybe I'm thinking of the Rams series. That's the Rams series for sure that I'm thinking of. They're on the clock now. They go right tackle. There goes another quarterback, this time to Las Vegas, Brenton Merritt. We'll check on those guys once the draft is over. The Lions go corner Ezekiel Carroll, who was the top corner in the draft. Approaching the end of the first round. There goes the safety that was above Sellers, but I wasn't really a fan of Rodney Lindley. There goes Herrera. We'll check on his dev trade if he's a hidden dev player. I'll check on those at the end of the draft this time instead of waiting until the year's over for the other players. Gonna wait on our guys, but for the other players on different teams, I will check those. There goes Kurt McQueen. Next pick is the Jaguars. They go right guard. And now the Bears are back up. We're going to sit in these next couple of picks, see where certain guys go, and then we'll be back on the clock. There's another running back. Probably going to draft one later on in the drafts, hoping like round 3 or so with one of those picks. Packers take Caleb Sutton. There goes another running back, Kentrell Webb, and now we're on the clock after the Jets take a tight end. So now we can take one of those linebacker options to fill the holes that we meant to fill coming into the draft. So Braden Shaw, Nathan Bridges, or do you wait on Eddie Jefferson, who's got A zone coverage? There's also Joshua Bradshaw down here. Let's just go through these 4 players real quick. So Braden Shaw has a good motor, but is not good at finding the ball in the air. He's a run stopper with good discipline and tries to rip the ball. A block shed, C pursuit, B tackle, A to C zone coverage. Decent athlete, nothing special there. B play rec. Okay, awareness B to D, not sure about that, so not sold on him. Nathan Bridges has B block shed, C pursuit, B tackle, and B zone coverage. Fuel general with another motor, same exact player notes as the other guy. With elite speed. Okay, that immediately caught my eye. And B man coverage, B play rec, A awareness. Okay, yeah, I'm drafting Nathan Bridges, no doubt about it. Welcome to San Francisco. Hopefully you could beat out Leon Webb for Rookie of the Year. We'll see. He's lower development, but I don't mind. High-speed linebackers are huge. They are a difference maker in this game, and I think he'll be a part of that. These ratings are really damn good. Now, was that too quick of a decision? You have Eddie Jefferson here, so I'm not sure why I'm checking these after I just made the pick, but he lacks discipline, but has A zone coverage, good speed, good strength, pretty decent overall athletes, but D play rec, D pursuits, those are big question marks. He's got A-man coverage. I think I like our pick better. And then, was there anybody else that I liked? There was Joshua Bradshaw. Elite speed, we could still end up drafting him, because he's also pretty freaking good. I don't see why I wouldn't go after both, you know? Why not? No more picks this round for us. So we're going to sim to our pick, and we'll see if he's there. But if not, we'll look elsewhere for a different player. All right, we got 2 of the next 4 selections. And are those linebackers there? They are. Joshua Bradshaw is here. You can get two different guys that can play at a similar level and both have good speed. This guy has a chance of being hidden dev and can also be a big impact player. So that signing was just because we had a lot of cap room and because we could have done it. But I might just play these two rookies over the guy that we brought in. I don't see why you wouldn't if at least one guy is really, really good. So Joshua Bradshaw, welcome. He's normal, but both guys have 91 speed. It's the speedy linebackers to guard the middle of the field for us. So I like both these picks, honestly. All right, back on the clock in 2 selections. Broncos go receiver, Jets go right guard. So can make another pick here. Who do we go now? Anybody left on our board? There's a receiver. But I'm not going to go that. Honestly, I think we are very deep on defense now. I think we can just go offense and backup players, things like that. So I think I'll go probably running back here or left tackle if there's good options there. Haven't looked through these guys at all, though, so I have no idea if any of these guys are actually good or not. So Joey Grayson here is a power back with A break tackle, A carrying, C vision, and C catching. But he's a power back. Oh, he's really slow. Never mind. David Stewart's got good speed, elite jumping, great strength. That's a nice combination. He's got B carrying, B ball carrier vision. Shoot move and spin move aren't really there at all. Stamina is kind of low, but he seems decent as an elusive back. There's also Zay Porter with B vision, B break tackle, solid speed. I think I'd rather go David Stewart. Let's take him. He's hidden. Hey, that's 2 straight years drafting a hidden running back. All right. 92 speed too, so he's way faster than Stockton is. Got our next pick here in the 4th round. Still have a lot of picks after this, which I'm not sure we can use all of them. So might trade some of those away for next season when we have a better idea of where we have some more holes. But I think right now we filled pretty much all of them that we needed to. I don't think there's any other position that really needs another player. So we'll make a selection here and then think about trading away the rest. Just looking for a decent backup left tackle that can potentially have hidden developments. Max Dawson, pretty good athletes. Fastest left tackle in the draft. Although the pass block rating is not very high, but can be worked on throughout the course of his career. The run block finesse is going to be at least decent, I think. So I'm willing to go with this pick. Max Dawson. Normal dev, but that's all right. Wasn't really expecting hidden dev here. Back on the clock right after Seattle's pick, they take Trey Hobbs. And now we're back up. Do we make a selection or do we not? Yeah, I'm going to trade this pick away. I wasn't a fan of the options. I'm not even sure what more there is to draft. The Browns are offering a 3rd round pick. So the Texans. So there are some options here. The Raiders are offering 2 picks. Let's see. Philly had a top 11 pick. So did Carolina. Vegas, I forget or not if they did. I will take Philly's offer. A 3rd round pick next season. Why not? Gonna trade this pick as well. I just trade the rest of them in a package for something next year because what is the use? I think we'll trade this to the Texans for their 4th round pick next season. All right, we're here in the 5th round. I'm gonna package the rest of our picks together just because I don't need them and I don't want them. So let's make the move. I'll just put together some offers and then see what happens. We got 4 picks left. So let's just try and acquire like a 4th round pick or a 3rd round pick from somebody else. I'll just make a trade with Miami, I guess. Do they want these for a 3rd round pick? Not quite. I'll take a 4th and a 5th then, I guess. Or a 4th in 2 straight seasons. What do they say now? There we go. Alright. Draft is over. The draft is over, folks. Time for the moment of truth. Draft recap. Did we boom or bust? We boomed! We absolutely boomed! I killed this draft! Both linebackers were absolute studs despite being normal dev. And Stewart ends up being pretty good too. Dawson was the only bad pick. But the rest of them... Oh boy, we have a really young and up-and-coming team. I'm excited. 76 overall for Enrique, showed him better than Wheatley was coming out of the draft last season. Hidden developments. Do I just check this right now? I might. I don't see why I wouldn't. I'm going to check for the other ones. 97 speed, 96 spec catch. Wow, this guy is a beast. He's going to be so fun. Oh man, I'm going to make him the number 2. Weeks is going to be the 3 behind Wheatley and Sheldon here. Because this guy is a beast. Oh man. I'm going to check his dev trait real quick. And do the reveal right now. He is a star dev player. That's fine. We'll take it. Alright, so hidden dev player, star dev. We know that much. Dwayne Sellers, a 76 overall zone. Safety, we're going to move him into free safety immediately. And we're going to check his dev trait here in a second, too. He'll play at free safety, and he is a superstar player. Just like Gordon Harrison, but a much better starting point. So, that is awesome. So, 2 huge first-round picks. Now, I'm glad I did not trade up to get Webb because I think I still made the most of this draft regardless. Nathan Bridges, normal development, but a field general, 74 overall out of the draft. 91 speed, 85 tackle, 91 acceleration. Awareness is pretty good. Play rec is already at 70, so really good starting place. I think I'm going to start these 2 rookies over the 80 overall guy. My God, I can't speak. Because I think these guys need the playing time with this normal dev trait. Bradshaw ends up being a 75 overall. 91 speed, 98 acceleration. Way better play rec than the other guy, but 77 awareness, better strength, but less zone coverage skills. So that's the difference between them two. He's better. He's more of a run stopper, but both guys are good field generals, Bridges and him. So very similar archetypes. The ratings are really close across the board. And then we had David Stewart, another hidden dev running back that we have acquired. And for him, I'm going to check his too. Real quick, because Stockton's obviously a superstar. We got Stewart now, so Newsom being normal dev, I think he legit might get pushed out of the starting role before the year even starts because of that. He is a star dev player, but he will still get some playing time. I might try and split the reps among the backs if possible, but it might be difficult. But I think these 2 guys need playing time, maybe over Newsom, who hasn't proven himself so far. Dawson ends up being a 63 overall, so might not make the roster. And the pass block stuff is really bad, honestly, and the run block is not that great either. He's just not very good. The lead block, though, is decent, but everything else needs plenty of work. But the other 4 picks, other 5 picks, I am extremely happy with. Another really nice draft for us. So I really hope that this will propel us into a potential playoff opportunity in the next year or 2. In the draft, Leon Webb was the first overall pick, and he was a 78 overall player. Hidden developments, pass coverage, 94 speed. Faster than both guys that I drafted, which I thought they were both the fastest, but they weren't. 84 awareness off the bat is insane. I have never seen awareness that high out of that. Maybe Percussion had higher, but I don't know, man. That is absurd. He ends up being an X Factor. Christ. I knew it. And after us, you had Derek Coleman selected by the Commanders. He's a 75 overall receiver. Pretty well-rounded player. Nothing to really scoff at in terms of his ratings. And for him, he is a star. Then you had a 79 overall quarterback go. TJ DeVoe, Philly's new quarterback. And he's a superstar. So really nice Jalen Hurts replacement pick for them. Cool. Falcons drafted Doug Peters. And he ends up being a star. Cowboys took Connor O'Donnell, who is also hidden developments. He ends up being a star. The last first-round quarterback was Brenton Merritt, who is normal development. So maybe a mystery by the Raiders, but it actually has pretty solid ratings, not going to lie. In the overall draft, though, the highest overall was Ronnie Florence, TJ DeVoe, and Kentrell Webb, with Leon Webb right behind them. So those were your top players. Florence ends up being a hidden dev power rusher. See what he has for his developments. He is an X Factor. The top 2 picks were X Factors. Good to know. The one year that we didn't actually get the first overall pick for like 3 straight seasons. Kill me now. How did I screw this up so horribly? I could have gotten McCutcheon. And instead, we don't have him or Leon Webb. That's all right, though. Did we still kill the draft? We still did a really good job. I'll check on the other players that I wanted to look at. Pretty good city here by the Chiefs. Roman Teal is a 75 overall receiver. Normal dev, though. All right. Anybody else? There was another receiver, I think. There was Duckworth, 73 overall. Normal. And then it looks like Beasley was a 72 hidden development. So I was kind of right about him. He was on the draft board. And he is a star. So no superstar receivers, right, that we've seen so far in this draft. And then Calvin Jackson, who we also thought about, was also hidden dev. So I was on the money with these receivers this time around. And it looks like he's a star too. Okay, so we got the best possible receiver in the draft with Enrique Sheldon. Good to know. Now, there were more receivers taken later on. There was Nolan Jenkins taken 74 normal. The other guys were all around 70 overall here in the 3rd round. All right. 4th round, anybody special? No receivers taken. In the 5th round, there was Mark Wallace, who I had on my board, but I wasn't going to end up taking. I think we got the best possible receiver. And then what about the Seahawks taking Alex Herrera, who of course is going to be in our division. 75 normal, so I hit on this safety. Good, good, good. I'm glad I did not take him, because that would have really been bad. So we go from a normal 75 to a 76 superstar. So, great draft. Really happy with that in total. Another, that's like our 3rd straight draft, really, in my opinion. So in preseason, at least to start, here's where the lineup's going to be. I'm going to keep Newsome at the starter because he is now up to an 84 overall. So I'm going to give him one more year, his 3rd year, to see what he can do behind this offensive line. But if he's not doing well like halfway through, I'm going to bench him for Stockton or Stewart. But I'm going to play Stockton over Stewart for now, but I will focus training on both of those running backs and Newsome probably too. But this offense, I think, is primed to have a much better year than last year. If we don't, then it's probably going to be a result of a lack of a running game. But for the most part, this offense looks really good on paper. And last year, based off of Faulkner's play, we should be a lot better this next season. On defense, we are a lot younger. No Fred Warner, no Hufanga. We have pretty much all players that we have either drafted or traded for here. So, we got Kilroy, Betts, Spriggs, and Parker as our top 4 corners. We acquired Parker but drafted all the rest. We drafted Sellers. We traded for Warmack. We drafted McCann. And we traded for Duhan. We drafted Curtis. We drafted Bradshaw and Bridges. Signed Freeman this most recent offseason. And we also signed Franklin and drafted James Allen. So this right here is the time. It is the time to step up, win football games, and put ourselves at least with a chance to make the playoffs. That's the goal this next year, just to get around 500. That's the goal. So that's it. I'll see you guys next time as we head into our 5th season with the Niners. Peace out.